There are two brand characteristics that will cost you $0 but will attract clients, customers, and get you some loyal team members. Those two brand traits are courage and consistency. Courage and consistency. And that's what we're talking about today in JTInTheRaw, show 139, courage and consistency around brand. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to what we like to call JT in the Raw, every Friday, same time, same place, on your Facebook feed, where I get to chew the thin just a little bit around business. And after being in business for 30 years, I got a few thins to chew. Good morning, Pete. Good morning, Carol. Pete, thank you so much for that beautiful compliment around the Active Management newsletter this week. Really appreciate getting feedback like that. Thank you so much. So, a couple of shout outs to start off with this week. A big shout out, first of all, to the courage and the love that's being shown in Christchurch at the moment after that catastrophic event last week in that wonderful, beautiful city in New Zealand. I really want to pass out my heartfelt thoughts to everybody in Christchurch, but also congratulations to the city and the way you have come together to support people of all makes and varieties. It just shows so much strength of your city, but also the nature of the people who live in Christchurch. So kudos to you, and my heart goes out to you. While we're on such morbid topics, I also want to give a big shout out today to Taylor Harris. For those who are overseas and don't know who Taylor Harris is, Taylor is an AFL player, an Australian Football League player who has been trolled this week after a cracking photo taken of her kicking a footy. It was an incredible photo, and the strength that she has shown against those online trolls just shows how strong she is as an individual, and I take my hat off to you. Take my hat off to you, Taylor Harris. Well done. Jordan, good morning. Jackie, good morning. Alyssa, good morning over there in New Zealand. Also got a big shout out today to Beecroft Public School. This is the school that my daughter goes to, and anybody watching today, I would encourage you, whether you're watching live or on replay, I would encourage you to talk to your local public school, because Zoe's homework this week was to put together a 5-minute workout video. A 5-minute workout video where she was to get on, introduce the show, talk about the different components of fitness, why fitness was important. She was to script it out and then film it. So she was using devices, she was talking about fitness, and it was a great activity. So her whole classes had to do this. So let's just extrapolate on that. There are 4 classes, 30 kids in each class. There's 120 kids this week at Beecroft Public School learning about health and fitness and making it fun to learn about health and fitness. I, again, tip my hat to Beecroft Public School on what you have done this week to promote health and fitness. Congratulations, and please feel free, if you're watching today's show, share this with your local school, because I reckon it's a cracking assignment or homework assignment. Morning, Jamie. Morning, Sharon. Good morning, LBL. How are you this morning? JP Richard. How are you, mate? Great to have you on board. Another shout out, just a quick shout out to Naraya, who's a brand new coaching client who's coming to me live each week on Zoom from Lithuania. What a wonderful world that we now live in. Big shout out to also all the staff of IRSA. Last week was IRSA, the International Health, Racquet and Sports Association Conference, and as always, it was a cracker. It was awesome. So a big shout out to IRSA. You guys put together a wonderful show and a wonderful trade show. At IRSA, they also announced the 4 new board members. So I'm wearing today the Stevenson Fitness baseball cap. The Stevenson Fitness baseball cap in honour of you, Chris Stevenson, the newest board member. Now that you are famous, I didn't say rich, but now that you're a famous board member, I hope you remember us plebs back there in the membership base. The people that sit in the very back row who have supported you through all your years of growing, Chris. I hope you remember us. Congratulations, mate. You're going to lead our industry well. Also, by the way, if you are in the fitness industry and you're watching, make sure you keep an eye out on the Active Management blogs, because we are sharing insights from Ursa from a range of different people that are going to be there. So keep an eye on the Active Management blogs. If you want a link to the first couple, put active in the comments below and I'll send you a link to check out what people thought of the event. Final shout out goes to Filex. Filex is in 3 weeks here in Sydney. I really want people to get along to that. I've got 3 presentations I'm doing. One, I'm talking about the fitness industry around the world, trends, boutiques, what they look like. I'm doing that at the Business Summit on the Thursday. On the Friday, I am talking about building a tribe, not just a membership base. This presentation, by the way, I could do in any industry. So if you're looking to build loyal customers, then please send me a message. I'd love to do the presentation in your industry, because it's about building a loyal customer base. And the third one is I'm doing a conversation, which is a facilitated event where we're talking about leadership and looking after your people. So if you're not going to Filex and you want to know more about it, put Filex in the comments below and I will send you a link. Good morning, Eugene. Good morning, Frosty. Good morning, Cecile. Great having you on board. Question of the day. This is the most popular question of the day that I do, and it's this. In the comments below, give me an emoji of what you are up to this weekend. Give me an emoji of what you are up to this weekend. And if I were doing it, I would have a microphone, and I'll tell you about that a little bit later. I would have a microphone. All right. Let's talk branding. Now, I don't care whether you are a franchise, whether you are a person, or whether you are a big brand. Oh, Frosty's off to the races. I don't care what you are. There is a brand message that you want to get out. There is a brand message that you want to get out. And this week, there's 2 reasons why I want to talk about this show. This week, first of all, a cracking episode came out on the Fitness Business podcast. It's with Carrie from The Fitting Room, which is my favorite fitness studio on the planet in New York City. And Carrie talks about branding. I'll tell you what she says in a minute. So that was 1. And 2 is when I went to the gym this week that I go to on a regular basis, I was mocked. I was mocked by people in the gym, because in the photos that I do when I'm training at gyms, I'll often give that sign, because I am the coolest white gangster in the world. Remember that. Coolest white gangster in the world is my signal. And I was mocked. And then I went away and thought about it. And I'll tell you why that is important shortly. Okay, first up, Carrie's show on the Fitness Business podcast. Whatever industry you're in, this is worth listening to, because Carrie talks about the importance of colours in your brand. She talks about how they came up with the name. She talks about how they came up with the logo. And she talks about their service delivery. And those 4 factors have contributed to her brand. Those 4 factors have contributed to her brand. Now, ladies and gents, this is all very well when you've got a startup. This is all very well if you're rebranding, and this is all very well if you've got a bucket load of money and you can tweak your brand. By the way, if you haven't listened to the show, put FBP in the comments below. FBP. Don't worry what industry you're in. If you're interested in branding, you'll get value out of this show. FBP in the comments. I'll send you a link to listen to Carrie's show. It is a dead set cracker around how she developed the brand. But as I say, this is great if you're starting a brand. This is great if you're going to rebrand, and this is great if you've got money. However, it doesn't help you if you're in a franchise. It doesn't help you if you're probably a personal brand. But these 2 characteristics will help you. Okay, first up is consistency in your brand, and the second one is courage around your brand. Consistency and courage. Consistency and courage. What is it? It's consistency and courage. So let me tell you 3 stories. Got an itchy nose this morning. 3 stories around branding. The first one is last week. Oh, Jamie Hayes is going swimming. Remember, question of the day is in an emoji. Tell me, what are you doing on the weekend? Okay, here are my 3 stories around consistency of brand. Firstly, when I was at Ursa last week, I lost count of the number of people who are on my Facebook feed who said, wow, it really is JT in the Raw. So they're saying, we're actually seeing you in person. But it's interesting that because this show is the same time every week and I never miss a week, it means I'm consistent. So part of who Justin Tamsett is now, personal brand, who Justin Tamsett is JTInTheRaw. And it's because I'm consistent. The question I've got for you, whether you are a big brand or just a personal brand, is are you consistent? Are you consistent? Every week, do you deliver the same service level? Every week when somebody comes to your reception desk at your physiotherapy clinic, at your real estate business, at your gym, wherever it may be, are you consistent? Because that is your brand. Your brand is consistency. And my brand has now permeated because I consistently deliver JTInTheRaw every week. The second one is that every photo that I take after a workout in a gym and at the end of every JTInTheRaw show has got this symbol. I don't know what that means. I got no idea what that means. Have no idea, but I do it all the time. And so it's now part of my brand. My sign off is it's that, because I'm the coolest white gangster in the world, don't forget, coolest white gangster in the world. Again, consistency. Now, I was mocked this week, as I said, at the gym. People saw that photo that I'm not necessarily friends with on Facebook, but I was in photos with others that are, and they bagged me. They gave me grief. They took the mickey out of me for that. But is that stopping me? No, because this is an important component to my brand. I do it so often. And when people, your competitors, bag you about what you do, mock you about what you do, it takes courage to stick with what you do. It takes courage to stick with what you do. And people want to see that courage in a brand. When they see that courage, they trust you. When they trust you, they buy from you. So regardless of the shit that's going on out here, if you have the courage to stick with your brand message, they will buy from you. If you like that, give me a love heart right now. Maddie Wright, good morning. Great to have you on board, Maddie. Question of the day is, in an emoji, tell us what you're up to on the weekend. Cameron Jones, good morning. Swimming, cycling and swimming. Love it. So, point number 2 is about having courage to stick with your brand message. When you have that courage, people learn to trust you. When people trust you, they will buy from you. And my third experience that I had, again, mocked a little, but it's part of the image, is when I take a photo of the gym that I've been to, I always turn and look at the logo. And the reason I do that is through neuro-linguistic programming, is that when I look like that, you'll follow my eyes up to where that logo is. So that's great for their brand. If I eyeball and I just have the brand behind me, when you look at that photo, you look at me and you hardly see the brand. This is marketing. This is neuro-marketing. So we look up there, you follow my eyes to the brand, so that's brand promotion. Ladies and gentlemen, it is part of what I do. I'm trying to promote their brand. Courage and consistency. Courage and consistency cost you $0. It doesn't cost you anything to do both of these things in your brand. Again, whether it's a big brand or a small brand, deliver consistently and have the courage to stick with that. So, I've got some homework for you. Give me a love heart right now if you love homework. If you love having action items during JTInTheRaw, give me a love heart right now. I bet I see none. No one wants homework. But this is an important component to developing your brand, whether personal or corporate. This is an important component. So here's your homework. You need to do an audit. An audit. You need to look at the shit that you do and see if there is consistency. Does your website match what your physical facility is? Does it? I've seen photos of gyms that are stock photos, and I look at their group fitness room and I'm like, that doesn't look anything like the one that I've been into. Inconsistency. That, ladies and gentlemen, erodes trust. When I don't have trust from you, I'm not buying from you. So look at the consistency in your images on your website. Look at the consistency in the language that you use. Good morning, Deborah. Great to have you on board. Looking forward to doing a live with you at Filex. Ladies and gentlemen, Deborah is running an amazing event in Sydney in July for all the women of the fitness industry. So keep your eyes peeled for what that will be. And she's going to be working with us as well in tandem as we join forces to dominate the fitness industry. No, we join forces to make change and help people progress. Okay, auditing. I want you to look at your social media. Is there consistency in the message that you're giving on social media? Is there consistency in the way it looks? Your uniforms, the service level, your communications, and your behavior. Does all of that, are you consistent in that with what your brand message is? Are you consistent with what your brand message is? Ladies and gentlemen, if you are not consistent, then what is going to happen is you are going to fuck the trust with the customer. And when you do that, they don't buy from you. So it's really simple. They want to see an image. They want a consistent image. And when you keep doing that, they then flip across over here to trust you, and then they buy from you or they stay with you. It's really simple. So your homework is to audit what you do and see if there is consistency. Now, if there is consistency, I want to challenge you to have the courage to stick with it. Don't flip-flop around. Despite people mocking me, I'm not changing the name of this show. It's staying JTInTheRaw. Despite what people say, I'm still going to be the coolest white gangster on the planet. And despite what people say, I am still going to be looking like that because that is part of my brand. And that is the courage that despite what people say, I'm going to keep doing it. And that is what I want from you. Despite what your competitors say, stick to your brand promise. When you stick to your brand promise, you build trust, you make sales. So if you are up for this challenge, I want you to write audit, AUDIT, in the comments below. If you are watching on whether live or on replay, write audit in the comments below. If you are prepared to have the intestinal fortitude to audit everything you do to ensure there is consistency in your brand message and that you will have the courage to stick with that brand message. Audit in the comments below is what I want to see. Commit to something, ladies and gentlemen. Have that consistency and have the courage to do something to improve it. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? If you like the show, if you know anyone that you think can improve their brand message, put their name in the comments below. Tag them so that they watch the show and they get the message that in order to make sales all the way over here, what we need to do is build trust before those sales, and we build trust by having a consistent brand image. And that we have the courage to stick with that. Consistency and courage cost you freaking nothing. Good morning, Elaine Jobson. Great to have you on board. Hope Jets is doing well for you and you are nailing it. Adam, good morning. I forgot to say hi to you earlier. Everybody, Adam is a brand new coaching client that I'm working with over the next 12 months. Thanks, Adam, for joining me as a coaching client and also this morning. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the message. Are you prepared to audit what you do to ensure consistency and courage in your brand message to build trust to make sales? Are you in? Write audit in the comments below right now. Ladies and gentlemen, fitness people, you can go straight from this show across to the Fitness Business Podcast in about 5 minutes. Chantel's going to be doing a Talking Trends show, which will be with Sarah Cooperman. just go straight to the Fitness Business Podcast Facebook page and you can tune into that. Ladies and gentlemen, what am I up to this week? Well, you guys, the question of the day, whether you're watching live or on replay, has been put in the comments below an emoji to describe what you're doing. I said right at the beginning, my emoji for the weekend is a microphone, because I am so grateful to the New South Wales Waratahs, who are the Super Rugby team here in New South Wales in Australia. I get to MC their sponsors event. I'm making my debut as a MC at this event. I am so pumped and so excited for that. So I've got that on Saturday night. On Sunday, I have got netball all day, doing a netball camp with a bunch of girls from 6 years old to 15 years old, working really closely with Susan Pettit, who is a former Diamond, and Christina Manu, who plays for the Giants. Can't wait for that. Really looking forward to that. What's Elaine saying? Even better to build trust to make lasting relationships that generate sales through. Boom. Yes, Elaine. Great point. You generate trust, generate sales, will give you referrals. Thank you for sharing that. Great. What else have I got? I'm doing a leadership presentation in Melbourne on Thursday with a bunch of clients down there. Can't wait to work on leadership with their whole team. That's going to be super exciting. Next week is also the last week of early bird discounts for the Fitness Industry Technology Summit. So if you want to know about that, put FITS in the comments below. You'll save $100. As of the 1st of April, that goes up. So make sure next week, between now and next week, you get your ticket to the Fitness Industry Tech Summit to save $100. What else? That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a big show. I hope you get the idea around branding. What did I talk about today? First of all, in the shout outs, I gave a big shout out to Beecroft Public School for their homework. Loved it. I also talked about the Fitness Business Podcast interview with Carrie from the Fitting Room. If you haven't listened to that show, regardless of what industry you're in, put FBP in the comments below. I'll send you a link to listen to that show. It is a cracker. Whatever business, whatever industry you're in, it's about branding. You'll learn a lot. And then in my show today, I talked about the importance of consistency and the importance of having courage around sticking to your brand message in order to build trust, make sales, and as Elaine said, therefore generate referrals. I gave you the challenge, ladies and gentlemen, of auditing what you do. So put audit in the comments below. Audit if that is what you're up to. That's the show. Show 139. Remember, if you know anyone that could get value out of it, please tag them in the comments below, because that helps us get the message out. Please tag them in the comments below. I'd be really grateful. And before we finish, you know what's coming. You know what's coming. It's quote of the week. Here it is. Consistency is part of your brand message. Consistency is part of your brand message. One more time for the dummies. Consistency is part of your brand message. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been tuned in to JTInTheRaw, whether you're watching live or on replay. We are at the same time every week. Consistency is part of your brand message. And I will catch you on the flip side.